I want to present to you your Angel Award, which is your award for inspiration to women in the film industry for your extraordinary work as a director.
Thank you.
Yeah. Can you hear everybody is excited about this? And you have
Very kind of you all. Thank you.
You're welcome. We're gonna mail this to you, or FedEx it, or Uber Eats it over to your place.
Absolutely, run it over with.
Okay. Would you like to talk to us about your career a little bit and just share with the audience, some wisdom?
Oh, Jesus. Wisdom is not my long suit. I have people I can thank.
Please.
For example, I'd like to thank Stella Adler, my acting teacher. She had me between 16 or 17 until I was about 25.
Right.
She was a great woman, a great teacher.
Legendary.
You must develop a passion for perfection, she said. And stop acting, darling. Be there.
Stop acting, darling, yes.
But I really learned a lot in filmmaking. I learned a lot from Alfred Hitchcock, from Howard Hawks, John Ford, Ernst Lubitsch, not personally, he was dead by the time, but I love his work. And those are probably the 4 or 5 most important directors in my career. I spent time with them. Hitchcock, watched him work, watched Hawks work, watched Ford work. And they all had something in common, which was they were in complete control. They knew what they were doing about everything. And so it's a challenge to be there with those guys, but that's who I learned from and learned quite a bit from them, I'm happy to say.
Who did you spend the most time with personally that was really shaped you maybe more than the others? I'm sure they were all a big influence, but...
I would pick Hawks. I spent more time with, more intimate, sort of intimate time. I wasn't intimate with him. But he took me under his wing, so to speak. And he was great. Hitchcock was very good too, but you couldn't get as personal with him. Ford was gruff all the time. Ford was awfully difficult to talk to. He picked on you all the time. Well, I can't remember the story about Ford. I'm not that good at these things.
Did you get drunk? Who did you get drunk with or have the most fun with? Just let's cut to that because everybody wants to know those stories,
I didn't get drunk with him. I think Ford. I used to go to his bedroom when he wasn't shooting. I'd go to his bedroom and sit next to his bed in a director's chair while he watched TV, usually westerns. And one time I was sitting next to him, I said, it's John Wayne's birthday next week, Mr. Ford. I thought I'd give him a present, thought I'd give him a book. Huh? He said. It's John Wayne's birthday, Duke's birthday next week. Thought I'd give him a present, thought I'd give him a book. Huh? Well, I knew I was in trouble because whenever he wanted to really humiliate you, he would make you repeat the same thing as he was screaming it. And there's no sentence either in English or any language doesn't sound ridiculous after it's been repeated 10 times, ever increasing volume.
Right.
It's Duke's birthday next week. Thought I'd give him a present. Thought I'd give him a book. Huh? It's Duke's birthday next week. I thought I'd give him a present. I thought I'd give him a book. He's got a book. Oh, yeah. He got a book. But he smiled. He did give me a smile after that. Hawks was different. Hawks was very sober and kind of straightforward, but he was fun too. He used to use the same, Hawks used to use the same dialogue or similar dialogue, or same scene with different dialogue. In most pictures, he'd have this scene about, how do you like to kiss? And the girl was always the leader in that kind of thing. So one time we were on the set, and I was standing over there behind him. And he says, he never did this, but he just suddenly said, if there's anybody here, quiet, blew a whistle. If there's anybody here that recognizes this dialogue and it seems familiar from another picture of mine, he can just shut the hell up about it, he says, looking at me. John Wayne laughed because he knew what that was about. I have to thank my parents, too. I really should. My father taught me, without speaking particularly, he was a great painter, my father. And he taught me a lot about composition and color because I was born into that. We used to paint at the apartment. So,
do you believe that filmmakers are painters of sorts? Would you say
painters
with emotion and texture and sound and performance?
All that stuff, yeah. Certainly they're painting something. And yeah, I think you're right. My mother was very encouraging, great woman. My mother put up to a lot. And they were wonderful parents. They really didn't have a lot of money, and yet they paid for everything that I needed. I wanted to go to the American Academy of Dramatic Art, they paid for it. I wanted to go to see Study Singing with Stella Adler, they paid for it. And so on, down the road, including dancing school.
Wow.
So I could learn the foxtrot. I didn't know how to do it. Anyway, parents were great, very encouraging. Stella Adler became a close friend, actually, over the years. And Hitchcock, Hawks, and Ford, they were all very nice to me in their own way. Ford was this way, and Hawks was that way, and Hitchcock they were all different. But those are the three. Also, I must not forget Roger Corman, who gave me the first chance I had to direct a picture. He financed it, and then we sold it to Paramount. And he was terrific. I mean, Roger just said, "Do it on time, get it done on time. That'll be as long as you were on time and on schedule, he was happy." And he produced, put up the money for my first picture, Targets, which wasn't too bad. And Paramount bought it and started me going.
Peter, you've created some of the most memorable female characters, I believe, in movie history. I mean, Tatum O'Neal's role in Paper Moon, and Cher in Mask, and Barbra Streisand, and What's Up, Dog. What was your approach when you were working with these great actresses?
I don't know that I had a particular approach. Each actor or actress, they're all different. Everybody's different. And I tried to direct them, so to speak, for who they were, as opposed to having any kind of set rule. I tried to relax them as much as possible and make them feel loved. Make them feel loved, like I like to give the impression that there's no such thing as a mistake. It's just another way of doing it, and we did that. I'm partial to women. I think they're more interesting than men.
Yeah. Well.
More complicated. You can't quite always tell exactly what a woman means when she says. With a guy, it's kind of obvious. Women are more ambiguous and more complicated, I think.
So the mystery of women. You've had many muses in your career.
Yeah, my mother was my first one, I guess.
Yeah.
And then Sybil Shepherd was certainly a muse.
Yes.
Dorothy Stratton, of course.
Yes.
And those are the main ones. My mother and Polly Platt, my first wife. She was very inspiring in a way. She got me going, and she was a very good designer. And my daughters didn't do too badly on me either. They were working me. Dad, come on, Dad, you can do better than that. And that kind of thing. Thanks a lot.
Do you joke around a lot with your daughter and your family? And
my daughter, I got two daughters. I kind of, yeah, we kid around, yeah, sure. Unfortunately, one of my daughters is on the East Coast, and the other one's somewhere on the West Coast. But she says she moved here to be closer to me, but I hardly ever see her.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's a big old life.
And then, of course, it's hard for all of us to get together, with COVID. And this is so special to us that you're sharing your time with us, and that you are, a recipient of the Angel Award, because you really are an inspiration to women. And that's what we're here to acknowledge. And we just really love you. Really.
That makes me very happy, particularly that it's women.
Yeah.
I think they should occupy a stronger position than they do even in the world.
Thank you for saying that.
You know, women are complicated and so much more interesting and much fairer than men.
Yes. Is there anything you want to tell the filmmakers, male or female, or is there anything that you want to inspire others with, some, you know, something that's stuck with you in your career that you could share?
That's a hard one.
That helped you, that you know, maybe when times were tough, or...
Well, when times are tough, just keep going. Don't give up. That's the main thing. Don't give up. I had some real rough times in the early 80s, 80, 81, 82, rough period. Because of what happened with Dorothy. But, you know, we just went forward. And I wrote a book about her, which I thought she was next to me and whispering in my ear.
I have to tell you, Peter, I'm from Vancouver, Canada, and Dorothy went to my high school, not in the same year. So we know her well in Canada, and we, you know the story. So it's a sad story.
She was a great woman.
Yeah, she was a beautiful woman.
And a great person. And the whole situation was compounded, unfortunately, by Mr. Hefner, who's gone the way of all flesh.
Yeah.
But he was definitely partially responsible for what happened, more than partially. That's a long story, which we haven't tackled. But anyway, I told the story a bit in the book I did about her, called "The Killing of the Unicorn." But talking about making it into a series or something. But I don't know.
I haven't read the book, but I do want to read the book. So
it's depressing. As Larry McMurtry said, it's the most depressing book he ever read.
But I'm sure it's a good read, you know. I mean, sometimes expressing and feeling those emotions is important and cathartic, so.
Yeah, that's true. Well, anyway,
I know. We don't want to keep you, but we want to applaud you and tell you how much we appreciate your contributions, you know, to the film industry and for inspiring women. So thank you, Peter. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Good luck to all of you.
You too. Stay well, sir. Thank you, sir.
It's nice being an angel. Thank you.
You are an angel. You're an angel. Yes.
Thank you.
You're part of our family. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Darren.
Thank you.